Greetings and God bless. I was thinking about human trafficking. So children are sold like 10,000, 15,000 for kidnapped child to be raped and organ harvested, adrenochrome harvested, consumed by the Satanists, and soul scalped. So that's the kind of going rate. And it seems like property taxes are around that range. Like it's like 6,000 to whatever 10,000. I think a year or per quarter or something like that. So this is the amount of money the criminals in charge are charging. Like that's what they need to live. What are these Epstein people doing? So they have their private jets and they have their hairstylists and they have their attorneys that are protecting them, so they can go continue killing children, raping children, and protecting this lifestyle and pushing this lifestyle of pedophilia and intergenerational pedophilia and intergenerational satanic Babylonian practices. So, and the thing is, these people, they expect to be treated differently than they treat others. They don't expect themselves to be kidnapped and raped, but they think they get to kidnap and rape. Uh, and their minions facilitate this. None of this could happen if minions weren't like, "Oh, I need my paycheck." I mean, that's the thing. That's in the United States, in the UK in particular. For instance, in medical facilities, people are like, "I will be a serial killer for my paycheck," and I can, show information about the bribes. It was up to 300,000 per positive patient that the killings, the executions were performed. And hospitals are about making money. They're not here to help you. They're not here to protect you. Just like the police, they're not here to protect you, the individual public person. The police were originally developed to protect the post office and protect trains. They're not here. They are not public servants, even though we're told they are, or they're told they are. I think eventually they realize that they're not. That's why they don't come when somebody's being murdered or raped right in front of you. It's only if it serves some sort of agenda. Why? Look at the symbolism. There's symbolism on their badges. It's a Freemasonic, satanic cult. That's why 800,000 children in America go missing every year, and that was before the masking. So you do this. So everybody, all the criminals are wearing this. All the victims are wearing this. So what's going to happen when it's like $15,000 a pop to kidnap somebody, to kidnap a child, so it's raped and consumed, organ harvested? It's all about money, folks. But it's not just about money. It's the satanic evil thing, and and it's only allowed because trusted agents of the public good are participating or turning a blind eye. Like, it is totally known that Child Protective Services is doing evil things. They're participating in human trafficking. They are putting children in known pedophile homes, and it happens time and time again. Just look it up. If you're a fact checker, look it up. On your own search engine, you'll find it. So, um, so these trusted agents of the public good that are doing this satanic stuff, like they're thinking, I'm a good person. The most important thing is that I'm paying my mortgage. So people are dying in the hospital. People die in the hospital. I mean, that's the mentality of medical workers is yeah, that people die. They won't tell us the patient's family. They're not going to tell the patients that it's no big deal if you die. They won't tell the patients and the patient's family that in your own culture that you're a wimp if you're concerned about them dying. It's it's sales. And And yes, there's probably 5 really nice doctors and really nice nurses all in one hand that really do care. But, you know, everybody's doing this for the paycheck, and they're doing it for the prestige. So, you know, like, Bill Gates is not, you know, taking the bus. He's not buying the coffee. So, we can't really, we don't really have much influence other than prayer, which the Bible says we fight not flesh and blood, but principality. So, prayer is effective. But I think we need to inform the trusted agents of the public good that are perpetuating this satanic agenda, that we need to give them notice that this is you don't approve, and you're not going to subsidize, and you're not going to like when somebody's a serial killer, do they deserve great customer service? When somebody's a serial killer, when somebody's a serial molester, do you, like, when somebody's a malignant narcissist that um, makes children commit suicide, and manipulates parents and tries to gaslight parents, are these people that deserve your humility, and, like, well, maybe you're right. you know like, maybe my child that you molested, maybe my child really wanted to be molested and kill themselves, because that's what's going on. It's so sick, it's so evil. And I mean, I don't know if this video will last because I'm saying this kind of thing. And the thing is, so all these evil people, and these are evil people who are doing things for the paycheck. Okay, yeah, we have Satanists who have sold their soul to the devil, and they're going to rituals and stuff like that. All right, yeah. But when ordinary people are facilitating this agenda, and that has happened nationwide in both Republican and liberal states, like, folks, and the thing is, everybody's like, well, you know, you got to pay for the house, you gotta take care of your kids, so I guess it's okay if you chop up little children, whether they're still alive or whether they're murdered. I mean, that's the thing. Like, people, even good Christians, are like, um, people want this quality of life, this excessive quality of life, uh, and they think that it's okay. Conservatives and liberals think it's okay if people are killed for this money, for this quality of life. And God does not approve. God does not say, do everything you can to look rich. God does not say, do everything you can to keep up with the Joneses. No. I mean, in the commandments, he's like, don't envy your neighbor. That's what's going on. People are so devoid, they're so soulless, that they're like, oh, I just have to have the perfect nails and the perfect car and the perfect appearance and the perfect bank account. That's all that matters. So if I have to kill some little children, if I have to kill some elderly people that are vulnerable, that are at my at is it at my mercy? Like, yeah, I'm just gonna, because I just have to keep looking good. I have to, like, there's I think a lot of ex-military men who have these trophy wives who don't love them. And so these ex-military or ex-corporate or whatever, I mean, they're just like, they have these fake women that they're so eye greedy. The men are so greedy in their eyes. They're like, I I purchased this trophy wife who doesn't love me, will never love me, and I have now these trophy children, these trophy daughters and sons who don't love me, and the only thing they want from me is money. And so these ex corporate, ex military, ex whatever, they have to have these big bank accounts to keep these fake people in their lives who don't love them, who just want them for money. And these men are so soulless. They're compromising themselves. And of course women are also compromising. I mean, that's who's the majority of the nurses and social workers, CPS workers that are trafficking children. I mean, we see them in politics now. Like, it's not just men. So, and the thing is, I think everybody's like, oh yeah, so I have to have my fancy house, my fancy nails, my fancy travel, my fancy car, my fancy hotel. They have to have they have this they have everybody's like, I have this luxurious lifestyle. All tourist destinations have so many tourists. Where are these tourists coming from? Where are all these tourists everywhere getting all this money? Like, these are not working people. the, it, like, somebody who has a 9 to 5 job does not have all this time and all this money to be in all these luxurious places. So I am thinking that majority of tourists are not working. These are human traffickers or family members of human traffickers or drug dealers. Like, these are not working people. And yeah, and the thing is, these people who are doing all this tourism, yes, I think there are some people who are not human traffickers, or not drug dealers, or not family members of those that do that kind of evil activity, that scrimp and save and blah blah blah, and good for them. But the thing is like, everybody is so invested in being somewhere else. So these people who are never home, like, these people are always somewhere else. Being a tourist, or being at their second home, or their third home, or their fourth home. So they're not, and then they're like doing the Airbnb and whatnot. Like, they're not uh like investing in their community, in their town. Yeah, they're maybe there for their family, um, but they're always busy somewhere else. They're always traveling to Spain, or to Portugal, or to South America, or to wherever. Like, they don't could care less about um, different agendas going on. And the thing with this lifestyle, this like extravagant lifestyle, is like, people are like, oh yeah, I'll take whatever, I'll do whatever you want. I don't care about my freedom. Fundamentally, I just want my luxurious lifestyle. So people will do whatever they can for their luxurious lifestyle. And the thing is, like, it's like, where are the good people? Where are the real people? Where are the people that, um, like, are there any people that stay in the neighborhood and that invest in the neighborhood? Like, other than like Orthodox religions, whether you're Amish or Jewish or something like that. Like, in the 70s or 80s, people would maybe go to Coney Island or something for the weekend, or go to the museum or something like that. Maybe go to Fire Island or something like that. No, everybody's like, I got to go intercontinental, crazy, go to the moon or something like that. And so there's this crazy expectations that everybody thinks that they have to live up to. And so they're compromising their values. They're like, yeah, I got to kill some people every day, every week. Got to traffic some children. Because I got to keep my wife happy because she needs her fancy stuff. My kids have to go to this expensive school, or I don't know what people's motivations are. Like, my kids have to have all this expensive stuff. My wife has to have, I have to have all this expensive stuff. So I'm going to kill all these people. I mean, we don't need wars. We just have people doing population control, doing genocide professionally and they rationalize it, or maybe they don't even think, they don't admit to themselves what's going on. And yeah, I'm saying, folks, be humble. Like, it is not worth killing a single person just so you can get your paycheck. It's not worth it. It's not good for you. It's not good for your soul. It's not good for society. It's not even good for your family. I know it's like $10,000, kidnap that child, or, you know, kill that elderly person. That's waste a drain on society. It's not up to you. It's not up to you to determine whether somebody lives or dies. It's up to God. And it's not, I didn't make this up. This is a precedent of Western civilization. So, like, folks need to tone it down. Like, you need to like slow down. And you're not happy, like, with all this money, with all this activity, this busyness, these accolades, this false sense of validation about looking great, or status, or whatever. Like, you're not happy. So, of course, I don't know what your soul needs, but number one, don't kill people. That's the first commandment. God says, "Don't, thou shalt not kill." All right, like, stop killing people. If you are, a pillar of the community here in America, stop killing people for money. Stop trafficking children. And I'm talking to police chiefs. I'm talking to doctors and nurses and medical techs. I'm talking to social workers. And if you have family members, if you have associates, former classmates or whatever, who are doing this, tell them to stop. Tell them, shame on them. Like, nobody should be killing people. Nobody should be trafficking children. Like, we are such a weak culture now. We are so useless. Americans are so useless. It's like, people will watch the Hunger Games and be like, "Oh, that's so bad what that fake country did to those children," but that's exactly what's going on now. We're just watch, like, people's footage in different streets. It's the Hunger Games, you know. Just watch what's going on in medicine. It's the Hunger Games. Like butchers that are chopping up little kids, alive or dead. Do you think they care? Do you think they're sad? These proponents of these kind of things, they are happy. They just like, they are happy to be murderers. Whether it's a murderer of the soul or whether it's a murderer of a body. And so many of them are women. And yeah, the world is crappy. The conservative world, the traditional Christian world that we faced in the 70s, like, it was not good. It did not, like, there was a lot of shitty, crappy stuff going on in it, against women, against different people going through whatever it is they were going through. But two wrongs do not make a right. Like, just because you're Christian, you know, family, or, a heterosexual somebody or a white somebody did something, doesn't mean that you throw away Western civilization. It's not like, the bad things that happen isn't because Western civilization is bad, or Christianity is bad, or masculinity is bad, or womanhood is bad. It's because people are messed up. And yeah, there was a lot of shitty things that went on in the past, but there was also a lot of good things too. And like now, because everybody's like, oh, I hate America, I hate Christianity, I hate Western civilization, I hate white people, I hate men, I hate women, I hate people who have the effect of their original chromosomes. Like people are like, yeah, we got to destroy all of that. Well, then so we destroy all the buildings, we destroy all the electricity, we destroy all the running water. Because that's what all those things are based upon. We are seeing like violence, crazy tribal violence in the streets that was pushed, that was encouraged by the current administration. And I'm in May 2023. Different women were saying, oh, we need to have something, fires in the streets and attack people. Um, I lost my train of thought. But so yeah, we're having like this tribal, with this reversion to tribalism, and that's exactly what the globalists want. They want people to be killing each other, raping each other, stealing from each other. Number one, because it causes distress, and they love it. Like the globalists love the suffering of us people. Like when you're watching ants, or when you're, even if you have a farm of lambs or whatever, cows, you're not enjoying watching your cow eat another cow, lamb eat another lamb, kick another, horse, kill another horse. Like people who are stewards of animals are not enjoying this. When you're watching a beehive or animal, or an ant farm, you're not like, oh yay, they're killing each other. But that's what these globalists love. They love humans harming other humans. They love us raping, killing, eating, stabbing, suffering, causing suffering. The globalists are engineering the suffering. They're making us as sick as possible, as mentally unwell as possible, as stressed and deprived as they can. And then there's like people who are sheltered, who are insulated, who have a lot of leverage. They have no clue how hard it is for certain people to exist. And so these people with all this leverage that they take for granted, somehow they have all these blessings, and they're like, well, why aren't you making 100,000 easy? Why aren't you, you know, if a lot of us who are clean and sober and godly could figure that out, we would be making 100,000. But we're in the satanic world, and I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm like wondering if everybody who does make it, if they are participating. I mean, I'm thinking they are all involved in human trafficking or some type of criminal activity that's a white collar crime. That's an endorsed satanic crime, because satanic crimes don't get um, what's the word? They don't get, there's no accounting for it because the system is satanic. These judges are wearing satanic robes. When you're going into a satanic court, this is ruled by Satan. Like the earth is ruled by Satan. The Bible says so. And people are like, yeah, you got to play the game. You can't be noble. You can't have morals. That's just how it is. I'm like, that's disgusting. And of course that's where we're going to end up. And of course your child's going to get raped or killed or whatever. And if you think that we play the game, then well, you play stupid game, you win stupid prizes, and don't expect any sympathy. So so if you know people who are participating in human trafficking or murdering of vulnerable people, because it's convenient, because you got to have your paycheck. Like, I don't think those people should get good customer service. I don't think they should even be served. I think serial murderers should be put in prison, even if they're government serial murderers. Nazis, some of them at least, were tried. They went to court and they weren't given, like, yes, I know they took over the United States, but in our moral framework, they weren't supposed to be freed. They weren't supposed to be rewarded. Like, serial murders should be punished. I mean, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think, I think if somebody's a serial murderer is so morally compromised, they're killing millions of people. I mean, that's the thing. Is like, um when somebody's a rogue serial murderer, then the state doesn't like it. Then the state stops them. But if somebody's a serial murderer of the state, then the state's fine with it. There's so many ordinary municipality jobs where people kill other people and it's no big deal. It's like serial murderers work for the state. Certain types of serial murderers. They just don't like the rogue serial murderers. But ordinary people don't think about it, uh, or maybe they rationalize that it's okay. When somebody's a serial murderer, that's not a good thing. Like, I think protecting yourself from attack, that does give you a right to do whatever it is you need to protect yourself. Um, but I don't think people should be like looking, like, what I'm talking about is, vulnerable children being kidnapped and killed, patients being murdered because it makes the hospital money or it makes the state money. Um, yeah, like when there's this financial incentive, uh, like that's what's terrible. And it's that's the virus. If there's a virus, if there's something that's gone viral, it's serial murders by the trusted agents of the public good. It's serial kidnapping. It's human trafficking by the trusted agents of the public good, because they think that they have to do it. They think that there's no other choice. Like, I watched a video where these Africans were trying to kidnap some black kids in a poor neighborhood, and poor neighborhoods, yeah, a lot of kids are neglected, and it's probably easy to kidnap children from poor neighborhoods. But this neighborhood fortunately care about their American black children. And and so the human traffickers, they were sitting down, and the American black people were videotaping it. And and you look at these guys, and some of them are on drugs or dissociated, and I bet that they are, um what's the word, they are, it's not brainwashed, it's not bribed, they are blackmailed. So I bet these African men that can't find a job, they probably don't speak English, they don't have any skills, but they were imported here. Because how does an African man with no skills, no job, get to America? Where does an African man, uh, um, where that he's so desperate he's kidnapping children to traffic in America? So these are imported men who have no job prospects. So they want to make $10,000. So they kidnap a couple children, $10,000 each. So they're either doing it because they want a quick $10,000 for raping children, for selling a child to be raped and murdered and harvested, um, tortured. These children are tortured, and I bet they're blackmailed. I bet so. These black men bring their families, so they probably are gonna, like, their little baby or their sisters or mother are gonna be, now they're gonna be sold into slavery. They're gonna be trafficked. So I think some of these guys who are trafficking in America, whether it's African or Mexican or whoever, I think that They're told, you go kidnap these children so we can rape them and murder them, or we're gonna rape and murder your mother, your wife, your daughter, your sister. So I think that scenario is going on, and these guys are from Africa. They don't know. They don't. And the thing is, who's going to help them? Who's going to help them? Nobody's going to help them. Nobody's helping Americans. The powers that be aren't helping Americans. The powers that be are killing us. The powers that be want us to die. The powers that be in America think we should die. That's the strange thing, is the left agenda thinks there's too many people, especially white people, but then the left agenda is bringing people from other countries who have a lot of babies, people from other countries who don't have skills for a high-level job, for a $70,000 an hour job. I don't know. I have very few friends that have a lucrative job. I have a lot of friends who have college degrees, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm wondering, is it some sort of secret society in order to get these $100,000 jobs? Because I have friends who have applied over and over again, never, just never make it, never make the cut. So it's like, what's the secret society? What's the secret? Are you supposed to do drugs with your prospect? Are you supposed to give them sex in order to get that job? Because I know so many people who are educated, qualified, reliable, that would like to make $100,000 that never get that job. So it's like there's this some weird, and the thing is, the people that do have that kind of job, like, I think that they have some sort of secret something. I don't know for sure, and if I asked, they probably wouldn't say so. But I think there is. So if Americans who have American friends who have who have family that have been here have never been able to break into the $100,000, $70,000, $50,000 job range, how is somebody straight from Africa who doesn't know English going to make $50,000, $100,000? Especially because they have a family and they want the American dream. So the American dream for an illegal immigrant or a recent import, the American dream is human trafficking, because that's a quick $10,000. Because they want to be a city official. They want to be the mayor so they can steal from the coffers of the city and the state. They want to be the legitimate thieves of America, our Congress people and president and everything like that. But they can't, because they can't speak the language. So the easiest thing is human trafficking. And that's what's running things. I think that's yes, human trafficking makes the world go around. That's why there's fancy restaurants, because the human traffickers have to have somewhere to go to relax. That's why there's resorts, because the human traffickers have to go somewhere pleasant and enjoy. Like all these like fancy dancy places, these private jets. It's human traffickers, drug dealers. It's not like decent people who are bringing good things to the world. The decent people who are bringing good things to the world are not, like, they don't want to hang out with human traffickers. They don't want to hang out with murderers and rapists. I don't know where they are. I don't know what they're doing. They're not kind of like making a grand display. Who knows? Maybe the human traffickers and the drug dealers are like, we got to get rid of those nice people. So, anyway, if you or your family are human traffickers, murderers, child molesters, drug dealers, traffickers, drug traffickers, like, stop it. Try to have a lifestyle so you're not having to do this. Get a relationship with God. And if you know people who are human traffickers, don't accept it. That is unacceptable. Like, human trafficking, drug smuggling is unacceptable. And I know people are like, well, they like I've heard people say this, like, people have to make money. Like, I've heard people like know that it's wrong that people are being killed in hospitals, but they're like, well, they got to make money. And people I've met, um, ex-military, whatever, being proud about the operations going on, like the physical operations of children. And I'm like, that's not right. And they're like, well, you got to make money. The whole, like cancer, doctors that have healed cancer are killed or persecuted. Uh, and the reason why is because a cancer patient's worth like $1 million, like a breast cancer patient. So when people heal from cancer naturally, when people heal from autism naturally, because autism's worth $500,000. So the medical pharmacological complex wants cancer patients. They want autism patients. They want transgender patients because it's a lifetime problem. They want diabetic patients because it's a lifetime of a slow kill. And the American diabetic, cancer, autism, the American patient is a cash cow for the pharmacological medical complex. So they don't want cures for diabetes, autism, cancer, and the like. They want long COVID because it's like they have a constant patient. But the strange thing is like you won't even get care. Like they don't even want to. Like if you're not just a certain type of patient, like they don't even want to help. They don't even want your money. Like, um, so there's like this other kind of level of discrimination that you get that they don't even want $1 million of your insurance. Like I think like they want you to suffer. Like the more than money is they want human suffering. That's what I find personally, and in as somebody with chronic Lyme and other people in the Lyme community, like it is so hard to get legitimate testing, like just to get a follow up test for your thyroid, or to see a gynecological doctor to look at your hormones, or other kind of basic mainstream kind of things. It's like you have to fight tooth and nail, and it's like this crazy, it's crazy making, like, so they don't even want your money. It's like they're trying to do everything they can to interfere with your informed status about health issues. So it's like they don't even they just want they want um they want to be your priest of a cult. Like I think like doctors want you to worship them, and you are uh, uh, a zealot of their system. And that's what I find like in small towns too, and not even small towns. Like all these, it seems like so many places want people to be like zealots, like crazy religious, like people crazy about you know some popular auto mechanic in the town or whatever. It's like you're supposed to like love everybody to death as if your life depends on it. And I think it does. I think like if and I'm like, I don't love everybody to death. What you see is what you get. And maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe everybody great. Maybe all these killer doctors and nurses and human traffickers, maybe they're the best people possible. Maybe they deserve to kill everybody and have kidnap children so the children are raped and harvested and tortured, and I don't know. I just don't. I I'm just I'm not into the mainstream narrative. I wasn't into it when the conservatives were in charge, when the Republicans, because I think we all need to learn about ourselves, go through our inquiry process, and sometimes that takes us into blasphemous territory. But God does not say never, never go into blasphemous territory, because he knows that humans are fallible. He says it's, don't do it, but he says, he doesn't say I'll never talk to you if you ever blaspheme. Like if you you know he had believers who were murderers and rapists and incestors and stuff like that. He accepts, you have to be humble, you have to be repentant. And I think people have to go through doing bad things and then realizing, that doesn't work for me, I don't feel right with that, and I repent. Like, I don't, but I think people who are serial killers for a paycheck, I think they've jumped the shark. Like, I think they know better, and they're just entitled and deluded and probably on drugs. So, anyways, folks, stop murdering people, stop kidnapping children or people, and um, if you're imported or illegal immigrant that has no money, like, killing people or kidnapping people is not the solution. And yeah, somehow you manage to get to America, but it is not a free place. Americans can barely make a living. That's why so many Americans are homeless. So that's why so many Americans are mentally ill and crazy drug addicts. Like, and yeah, I know illegals don't see that, or they're just thinking that it's a bad American. These Americans who are drug addicts and homeless people. They're just bad people. No, no. Like, there's an engineered targeting of Americans that um, drive people out of their jobs, drive people out of their home, make people sick. I mean, people are doing drugs in America because everybody's chronically ill. Everybody's dealing with chronic fatigue. And so I think that's why people are on prescribed pharmaceuticals or recreational pharmaceuticals, or drinking, or doing other addictive behavior. I feel like Americans of any nation are the most targeted people, to be the sickest people, to be the most mentally ill, and to suffer the most. Um, we, like, Americans, have a cheerful demeanor, baseline attitude, uh, because we're children of immigrants, and when you're somebody new, putting your best foot forward, habit of putting your best foot forward, and putting a habit and making a habit of thinking the best, reframing things. That's a very American type of thing. And so, we seem really upbeat, but even the most upbeat jumps from these assaults. Our country isn't protecting us from chemtrails and toxins in our food and water and air, and biological agents like Lyme disease and envenomation of everything. And um, you know and then our medical system is obstructing and obfuscating solutions and facts about these assaults on our body, the electromagnetics of 5G, and just simple wiring in your home. Everything is conspiring to kill us. I'm amazed. I'm amazed that Americans are still, like, functioning, but we're functioning. We're suboptimally. We're functioning at a suboptimal level, and people want to blame us, like the people who are healthy, that are genetically gifted to endure all this. They're blaming the mentally ill, the drug addicted, the sick people. They're like, well, you should just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, people try. I mean, if we knew the answer, we would have pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps, but we can't figure it out. It's not like people aren't trying new things all the time, but there's just so many factors. There's so many elements. Not, and the physical ones, and then there's supernatural ones. So there's just, and I mean, I've done prayer and, um, intercessory prayers, and I can't figure it out, and if I can't figure it out, like a lot of other people are a million miles away from figuring it out as well. So, if you're an illegal or somebody who is legally transferred here and you can't make any money, just don't kill people, don't traffic people, don't kidnap American children, or don't sell your own. Like, figure something out. Just work some horrible job. I'm sorry, that's what Americans do. Yeah, they don't have the American dream. A lot of Americans do not have the American dream. And how we know this is looking at the homeless statistics, which are probably not even completely accurate. But the American dream isn't for Americans. The American dream is for somebody who's in a club. The American dream is for people who are willing to be serial murderers, or human traffickers. The American dream are those who are willing to turn a blind eye to, state sanctioned executions of people in hospitals and nursing homes, and human trafficking by CPS and social workers. And the thing is, there's the real, murder, rape, human trafficking, and then there's like soft human trafficking, which is like the racket that a lot of social workers do. I was in a place, in a city where the biggest mental health organization was doing all sorts of racketeering. They were investigated. Like, it's a miracle when a place is investigated. It is even a greater miracle when it is found guilty, because there's all these bribes going on. There's just all this status quo that nobody wants to disrupt. So, human trafficking or racketeering has to be really bad in order for anything to be done. Like, and this was in Missoula, and like the housing authority was involved in in a different type of human trafficking, where this friend of mine was gang stalked, and the housing authority did not evict the people who were gang stalking, the people who were criminals torturing this friend of mine. So for some reason, these state funded, like, trusted agents of the public good are facilitating gang stalking. They're facilitating human trafficking. They're facilitating kidnapping. They're facilitating murder. I have seen this. I've observed it. And people, it's so traumatizing. People are just dissociated. They're just like, they just numb themselves to it. And they're just like, I get it. And the thing is, all these evil places where all this evil stuff, all this crime and all this lack of infrastructure, and the brutal architecture, the brutal art that's introduced to all these cities, to make people feel worse, to make people behave like monsters. Because they're not behaving like animals, they're behaving like monsters. Like, cities want this because they're satanic. Like, whoever's running cities is run by Freemasons. These are satanic people. They enjoy the suffering and destruction of humans. And the thing is, so all these cities, they want young people. They want young people to move in, to invest, to buy a home, to be anchored by a mortgage, to have children, and then they have to take care of the children. So then the young person, the young family, is now going to be bribed and brainwashed and then blackmailed by that city, because that's what happens. Like, people are like, they have all this, they have this crazy mortgage that they can barely afford, and the city is raping them for their property taxes, and the city is not fixing infrastructure. Streets are always messed up. There's always new construction, always interfering with traffic. Um, there's not good school stuff, or there's just and always improper new construction. Oh, we're going to build some new stadium here, or we're going to do this, destroy this beautiful building, take away housing, but we're going to build more offices for a place that there's no need for it. Like so many places I see have all these empty buildings for businesses. There's like less than 1% vacancy rate for housing, for somebody to rent or purchase a home, but there's all this office space. Always, everything's always all homes, all housing, all residential home kind of stuff is always being turned into offices. Where are humans supposed to be? So it's like they're like, we will take away. That's what cities are doing. Cities are like, we are going to take away housing, residential homes, because we don't want humans. Humans need to die. We need to get rid of humans. So we definitely don't want housing. We don't want residences for them. And it's unfortunate there's homeless around. It's unfortunate that there's crime because of homelessness. It's that there's all this mental illness and drug use. Of course, that homelessness, the drug use, the mental illness, that's great for the social worker industrial complex. It's great for the pharmacological industrial complex. It's great for the city, because then the city will have a new bond or bill or something for some new homeless remedy thing that never gets taken care of because somebody's stealing or spending the money improperly. It's never working for the homeless people. If like I saw somewhere, I think it was Portland, there was this little plot of land. I don't know, it was a quarter acre, and $60,000. Was it a month? Was it? I don't know. It was crazy, insane amount of money for people to camp on a pallet. Like, if people are spending that kind of money, like, we're in trouble. Nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody asks a question. Not even the employees. Like, this is some weird human trafficking. Like, so the mentally ill, homeless, drug addicted person is being trafficked by the city or the state, who's doing this clean needle program or doing some type of program. So they distribute new needles so the drug addict can just do more drugs. And somebody, like, whoever's distributing those needles, whether it's some office, so how much are the employees, the full-time employees, the front desk reception, the project manager, and the human resources department, and the rent for the building, and the decor for the building, and the head honcho CEO who has to go to the galas to fundraise or something like that. Millions of dollars go into these kind of agenda programs that people are like, yeah, I'm helping mentally ill homeless people do more drugs, because it's their right to inject heroin and whatever. We are insane. I mean, no dystopian novel has ever summed this up. You know, like you have to put all of them together, and I don't even think because no dystopian novel talks about this malicious, satanic, malevolent, demonic attack of humanity. Not that I am aware of. If you've heard of one, let me know. So I think I've had my say. And the thing is, like, only Big Brother on YouTube watches my video. Only the bots watch my video, because it's I'm all over the place, and I'm saying like unthinkable things, because we're in an unthinkable situation. But I can show documentation, you know, before anybody says the Big Brother guidelines thing, I have proof. I have proof. So thank you for watching. God bless.